Hey everyone, welcome to another unboxing. Today we're going to be looking at yet another unboxing and review of earbuds, and this time it's by Yincrow. We're going to be looking at two models. One is RW9 and the other one is X6. These are yet another MX500 shell style budget earbuds that compete with Venture Electronic Monk, TY Hi-Z, EMX 500s and others. This was more expensive model. This cost I think around 17 or 16 euro, and this was 9 euro. So let's unbox them and let's take a look what's inside. Let's start with a cheaper model, which is Yin Crowe X6, and this is a box that it comes in. As you can see, there is nothing on it except this front here. Let's open this up, and inside we have this nice box. Let's take it out, put it down. What you get inside is also the warranty card that's included. You get nothing else inside, so let me put this box away. So this is your usual warranty card that you get from sellers. They give you 101% satisfaction. This is great. Okay, let's look at the earbuds themselves. So this is a box. This is the box from the side. X6, as you can see. From the bottom, another side, and I got red ones myself, and I didn't get any microphone with them. I don't like microphones on earbuds. Okay, so let's open it up and let's see what's inside. Alright, so inside we have this nice little pouch and nothing else, so I'm gonna put this box away. You get this little card. I guess this is for authenticity check. Let me put this here, and let's look what's inside this little pouch. Okay, so this is a typical affair. You get your little clip. You get earphone covers, which is interesting because you only get donut shaped ones. There is no full cover ones included. There's 4 there, or 2 pairs. And these are the earbuds themselves. Oh yeah, actually I see them here. For some reason there are extra earbud foam covers inside with the earbuds themselves. So let me open up the earbuds and let's see what they're like. For some reason this foam covers are in here with these earbuds, but these are your typical foam covers, as you can see. Let me put them over here, and here are the earbuds themselves. These are Yin Crowe X6. Let me give you a closer look. So here they are. This is your typical MX500 style shell. On the side they have X6 written here, as you can see, and there's a branding over here, Yin Crowe, right over there. And the front is also very familiar to me, and if you are into budget earbuds at all, you'll also recognize this shape. Okay, so let me untangle them and let's look at the cable. Okay, let me get rid of this wire. Let's open up the cable, and here's what the connector looks like. It's an unusual looking connector. Usually you get metallic ones or straight ones, but this one is more unique looking one. As always, I went with 3.5mm. Here's the split stopper. Again, it says Yincrow over here. It's a nice quality split stopper. The cable itself feels very nice. It's a nice quality earbud, I think. Everything feels good so far. So let me give you one more closer look at the earbuds themselves. The vents, everything is the same as usual. So okay, so this is Yin Crowe X6. Let me put them over here. This pouch, by the way, is very nice. It feels really good. It's nice to touch. I don't know what the material is, but it's nice of them to include this. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at this one, RW9. This is how it came. It was wrapped in a clear plastic cover, and I removed it to avoid reflections. But when you order yours, it should be fully sealed like mine was. This one also came with this warranty card, the same as Yin Crowe X6, so it's pretty much the same stuff. One thing I wanted to note, so these are Yin Crowe X6s, which I just unboxed. The earphones that were inside with the earbuds, I'd like to note that they are very thick. They feel like a very nice quality, so I like this. This feel like very nice quality. So I just wanted to mention that. Now back to this. Let's open up the box and let's see what's inside. Okay, this is a pretty big box for earbuds. All right, so there's something already unusual. This is not your normal case for your earbuds that's usually included with the budget earbuds. You usually get those round ones. This looks very nice. Let me put this here for a little while. So you have this looks like a specification card as well as authenticity check, if I'm not mistaken. Let me put this over here. Actually, I'm gonna put this over here. Next, inside there is Yin Crowe RW9 earbuds. This is very unusual packaging. I like this. This is not like your oh, sorry, I forgot to show you the box actually from all angles as usual. Let me show this to you. So this is the box from the back, the side. Again, I ordered the red version. I wanted them to be the same, RW9 and X6. So a nice looking box, a nice feeling box, and I'm gonna put this away. So now let's look at the earbuds themselves. They come in this nice foam protection. That's cool. There's this cutout right here. So let me open this up. And inside we have our RW9 earbuds. Let me pull them out carefully. Right here. So there's nothing else. So I'll put this away. Now let's look at the earbuds themselves. These are yet again the same MX500 style shells. I'll give you a closer comparison with X6s in a moment, but as you can see, they have RW9 designation on them over on this side, and they should have Yin Crowe written on them over here. So typical MX500 style shell. The front is also the same as X6. I'm actually wondering what they will sound like in comparison. The cable is different and the connector is also different. So let me remove this thing and let's take a look at it. Let's open this up and let's see what the cable is like. The cable already feels familiar to me. I think I already have earbuds that have a cable like this. This feels very much like my TY Hi-Z 150S cable, only that one is black and this one is red. The connector is clear looking, 3.5 millimeter. Also unusual, it's like a unique to Yin Crowe. I haven't seen many budget earbuds with this type of a connector. Let's take a look at the split stopper. The split stopper is clear and it's got split adjuster, which the X6, from what I can see, it doesn't have, but I'll take a closer look in a moment at that. Okay, so again, let me show you the earbuds. All right. Okay, so typical MX500, the same vents, everything the same. Let me put this down and let's take a look at the case or the pouch. Let me open this up. Okay, this is what it looks like. It's got Yin Crowe written on it, which is quite cool. So it's not generic, at least it's got the brand on it. Does it feel like leather? Not really. I don't know what it feels like, but maybe it does. I don't know. But it's nice that there is some unique case to this earbud anyway, because this budget earbuds usually come in with that like usual black case, and this one is different, so that's nice. What you have inside is a bag of foam covers, which you have the full ones as well as the donut ones, and you also have gray looking full ones, which I've never seen before. That's cool. Also you have this clip, which is also included with X6s. Okay, so let me put this aside and let's compare the two earbuds closer. So here they are, the two earbuds. They look absolutely identical. If you didn't see the cable, you'd have a very hard time telling. Actually, you would not be able to tell at all what the difference is between these two. As you can see, they both have Yincrow written on it, and on the side one is X6 and the other one is RW9. So X6 and RW9. On the front, they are exactly the same. They have the same type of cover or grill right here. So grooves, there are two types of this. There's another one with less grooves in it. I prefer this style myself. So here they are, look exactly the same. Now let's look at the split stoppers. So here's the look at the split stoppers. I actually like the split stopper on X6 more myself. Maybe this is better somehow, more comfortable. But yes, this doesn't have a split adjuster, and this does, as you can see. So finally, let's take a look at the connectors at the end, both 3.5mm, and this is what they look like. Again, I kind of prefer the X6 connector. Not a big fan of clear style connectors myself, to be honest, but both look decent. So, and the cable itself, well, this is supposed to have more premium cable, the RW9, but so far I actually prefer how the X6 feels more. I like the smoother cable. But what matters the most is what do these earbuds sound like, and if there's any difference in audio quality between this and how do they compare to Venture Electronics Monk, EMX 500 and other budget competitors. So I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna listen to this, I'm gonna evaluate them, and I'll be right back and I'll tell you what they sound like. Alright, let's talk about the sound. So first of all, the difference between these two. I couldn't tell any difference. Maybe just slightly preferred the Yin Crowe X6, but that's a big maybe. I will say that for the most part, I just could not tell the difference between these two. I could be making it up that I preferred this one. But yeah, I couldn't tell the difference. To me, they sound the same. So RW9 costs twice as much as X6, and if you want to pay twice as much for an arguably better cable on RW9, personally I prefer this cable. I think it's a nicer cable to me. But if you want to pay for this cable double the price and have the same sound quality as X6, then by all means go ahead. But to me, these are not worth it. If I had to decide, I would go with this, because this and that is exactly the same. In fact, I found a small flaw with RW9s, and that is when you put them in your ear and you move the cable around, you can hear the cable inside the earbud just kind of moving in there, which I couldn't hear with X6. So that's one more pro for X6 against the RW9. So yeah, if I had to pick between these two, I'll pick the X6. That's why I'm gonna put away the RW9 and let's talk about the Yin Crowe X6. So if you like bass, these are the earbuds you should get, because these have a thumping bass. These have the most bass I've heard from all earbuds that I have in my possession and in my collection, including the TY Hi-Z 32s, which had quite a thumping bass, and this have more. So if you are a bass head, if you like bass, in that case I would recommend you this earbuds without hesitation. You should get them. Everything else is also good. I like the mids, they are more forward, and I liked the treble as well. It's good. I think it's a very good all-around earbud, and for the price I think it's fantastic. So how does it do against other earbuds? Well, I compared it to my reference earbuds, which are Fengru EMX 500s. Before this, I used to use Venture Electronics Monks and Monk Pluses for the reference, but this one's the EMX 500s by Fengru are my references. And I compared this two back and forth, and I had the hardest time deciding which one I prefer, because each offers their own strength and weakness. In fact, I wrote down what I preferred in each of these earbuds, and I wrote down my observations on both of these, because it was very, very hard to decide which one I prefer. So for example, Yincrows have more bass than this. This have plenty of bass, but this have even more. Like I mentioned, this has the most bass from any budget earbuds that I've tried. So if you're a bass head, go for this. But this also have a thicker mids than this ones. So the bass leaks a little bit into the mid-range, which I'm not a fan of. And this ones have more thinner mid-range. They sound a little bit thinner than this, but I thought that this were a little bit cleaner sounding. And as this mid-range on this is a little bit more forward than this. This is slightly recessed, but still I felt like I could make out more details on this, and that's because I think that the bass bleeds less into mid-range on this ones than on this. The treble, I also kind of preferred this a little bit, and that's again because of the bass. I felt like this were just it was a slightly thinner sounding treble, but in my opinion slightly more detailed. So Yincrow overall makes EMX 500s by Fengru sound thin when you try them back and forth. Immediately you might be underwhelmed by this, because the bass and the presentation of this makes this sound a little thinner. But once you get used to it, I think the detail on this is just slightly better, and it's the separation as well, where like for example, when I was listening to songs, I could make out like details separately on their own better in this one than on this. I think like this have a thicker sound to them than this. So and also I found EMX 500s to be a little bit airier than this, but the problem is, well, this one's also, when you listen to them after EMX 500s, this sound, on the other hand, they sound very impactful. So they hit you, and they are more like fun sounding earbud after a little more like sterile sounding EMX 500s. So I don't know which one I prefer, to be honest, because both of these are so good that it was very, very hard for me to decide. Like on one song I preferred this, on the other I preferred this. On some songs the vocals stood out on this instead of this, and it was very hard time for me to decide between these two. If I had to recommend you, I would say get them both, because they're not very expensive, and decide by yourself. But if you like bass, I'll go with this. For example, with a good example would be Neon Knox Risky Fulfillment, the song. This really stand out with like a nice thumping bass. So this have the most bass I've tried from any earbud. This ones also have a great bass, but compared to this can sound a little thin, but slightly more detailed, this one's. But again, I found that strangely that it varied from song to song. So like sometimes I preferred this, sometimes I preferred the Fengru ones. It was a very hard time deciding this. Both of these earbuds though are, I would recommend you both of them because both are really, really good in my opinion, and especially if you like bass. Like for me, to be honest, sometimes this one's the bass was just slightly, I felt like it was too much and it was overpowering, because I'm not a bass head by any means. I don't really like too much bass, so for me this felt just slightly overpowering when it comes to bass. This one's felt nice, but when I would listen to this after the Yincrows, this ones would sound immediately thinner and more sterile, and in some songs this had more forward mid-range, and the other ones, this one had more forward mid-range. So they're very, very close competitors, these two, and both of these earbuds I think are really good. If you don't mind bass, I would recommend you this. In fact, if you like bass, definitely go for this ones, and you wouldn't make a mistake by going this ones either. This ones have plenty of bass as well, but both of these earbuds are great. So Yincrows are really, really good. I'm impressed by them. Again, do not go for the RW9s, because in my case RW9s and X6s sounded the same. So in fact, as I mentioned in the beginning, maybe I was hearing something not there, but I kind of preferred the X6s even at times. So these are really good earbuds, and I would definitely recommend you this earbuds. The cable is also great, as well as the connector is nice too. The build quality is great, and like I mentioned, with the RW9s, when you move the cable you can hear it inside the earbud, and with X6s you don't hear this. So the X6s get my recommendation. They are a very good earbud, and for the price especially, and if you want some nice earbuds, go for it and buy one.